Titles are won, legends are made, and fields are named after them. Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium, home of the Alabama Crimson Tide. And boy, do we have a fun one ahead. Top 10 team, target on their back, going on their road and right into the snake pit. As we'll see the number 4 team in the country, the Ohio State Buckeyes, taking on the 15th ranked team in the land, the Alabama Crimson Tide. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. And the Buckeyes will get us started with the opening kickoff. He'll bring it out. It's Henderson. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. Here comes the offense on first down. Miller with the ball. They shut it down quickly, but he gets 2 out to the 18. Alabama quickly back to the line. Motion from the offense. Back to throw, it's Milroe. A strike downfield. Off he goes. Running inside the 20. And the defense couldn't corral him, and he took it all the way. Touchdown time. You want to talk about a great way to start the game and set the tone early.
It's so nice to have a quarterback just get himself into the game and get himself established. You make a couple throws, you lead your offense down the field, you score right off the bat. Could not have been a better start for that QB.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll call for the fair catch here. This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. The give to the left side. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
You know, defensively, you live by the blitz and you die by the blitz. That time, they dialed it up into the run play, and the linebacker able to make a nice kick.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. He's looking to throw. He is lucky to get that one back, and the last thing you want is to turn it over on your opening drive.
Oh, and on defense, you just got to be able to finish that play. That defender had the football in his hands. He's just got to catch it. That should have been an interception.
On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line.
That's why, as a defense, it's so important to win early downs. You win 1st and 2nd down, you set up 3rd and long. Now you can pin your ears back and get after the QB.
The Buckeyes line up to punt it away. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. Here comes that Alabama offense. And David, how they would love to stick it in. He uncorks one deep. He caught it. And he takes it all the way. They couldn't stop him. Touchdown, Alabama!
One of the of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch. They've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy, the connection between quarterback, wide receiver. You can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Offense set on first down. Quarterback quick pass to the receiver. Banging, slithering, whatever it takes to get that ball up to the 32.
Man, the defense, you hold your breath. When this receiver has the football out in space, you have got to make sure you're playing with outstanding pursuit. Nice job there, but as this game goes on, they've got to keep an eye on this guy and make sure they know where he is at all times.
Man, a lot of times when you blitz that linebacker, it's about timing. You don't show your hand. When he gets up to the line of scrimmage, gets right through the line, makes the tackle for a loss.
And as soon as the running back gets the football, he's got a face full of linebacker.
Not much you can do there. You got to have a little better block. You got to identify that blitz a little bit faster by the offensive line.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. The critical down and distances in this game, like that third down right there. When it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
Makes the grab, and it's plenty for the first down. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down. The Buckeyes have it with a 1st and 10. They'll give it to the back. A most efficient pickup of 6 on first down. It's 2nd and 4.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
Looking for space. It's Judkins. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks.
You know, runs like this oftentimes are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
To the ground to try to pick up the first. Runs through a tackle. At the 40, there he goes. He's loose. And after gobbling up some serious yardage and showing off those wheels, he's finally out of bounds.
I mean, what a huge game for this offense. You're always trying to find ways to get your playmakers in space. And when you create a hole like that, Palmer, good Lord, anybody's going to be able to run through. Then he just keeps chewing up those yards, makes the big play.
He's a difference maker, David, and he gets better as the game goes on. So that's great news at this juncture to kind of rip off a big run like that. But this is a guy that builds momentum as he goes. I'd be force-feeding this guy more as the game goes on.
Wide receiver coming across in motion. Trying to hit the sideline on the right. He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down to the 2.
The closer you get to the end zone, the more you start to bring big bodies on the field, right? The field shrinks. I'm worried about you running the football, particularly up the middle. But how about the offense? Does a nice job tossing the ball on the perimeter, going out there, getting some positive yards, trying to get 7. I ain't settling for no field goal. And with the stuff there, Jesse, on 2nd down, this little 3rd to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
Looking to the end zone on 3rd and goal. Lets it go to the end zone. Can't make the grab as he was going for 6 right there.
Well, on 3rd and short and field goal range, they dial up the pass play. Quarterback was trying to get through his progressions. There was just simply nobody open. Couldn't make an accurate enough throw. Ball falls incomplete. Now setting up a big decision here on 4th down.
This is a really big play for both teams. 4th and goal from the 2. To the air, it's Howard. Looking for the score. He snares it in the end zone. Touchdown, Buckeyes. Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And after the extra point, they've cut the lead in half, down 14-7. They march 79 yards on the drive. And it was finished off with a 2-yard touchdown toss. Let's see what he can do with the return. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. After standing on the sideline and watching that long touchdown drive, they really need to put something together to give their defense a rest.
And that's a real thing, man. Like, you played a lot of plays, you get worn out, you need a chance to go decompress on the sideline, get some oxygen. Palmer, now it's on this offense.
Yeah, this is the definition of complementary football because it's a two-pronged problem. You've got to score points and answer, but you've also got to take your time and give your defense an opportunity to get their win.
And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. They'll try to move the chains on 3rd and short from the 25. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Got it in the middle. It's Williams. He's got first down yardage across the 50. They'll mark it at the 49. 3rd down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open. Who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
After misfiring, it's 2nd down.
Well, guess who? They're taking a shot to the guy that's just been torching this defense in the entire first half. He's already got over 100 yards, so why not try to add to it and force this defense to prove that they can cover him? They did.
And he was winding his way all over the backfield, staying alive, and finally he goes down. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. And it's picked off right at the goal line. Bringing it back. They bring him down, but that great defensive play might be overturned. Let's see what the call is. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. First down to start the drive after the break. He's looking to throw it. Going back to the well, another deep ball.
This dude will kick you apart if you give him time. You better get to him. You better make him feel uncomfortable. This defense did that. Nice job by the defense, hurrying the quarterback through his thought process.
The incompletion brings up a 2nd down. Now on the move. Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down. Alabama pushing the tempo. Back to pass, it's Milroe. Trying to make magic with his feet. On the move at the 30. They finally corral him, but he turns that into a big gain and a first down. Alabama comes to the line with 1st and 10. And the ball's loose. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
Offensive players, when they got the ball in their hand, they're trying to make plays, right? Trying to make you miss. There's nothing better than closing that gap and sticking that head right in that guy's chest and causing a fumble.
The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. From the gun, the ground game. They knock him down after a gain of 3 to the 23.
I'll tell you, this is a running back who's very, very dangerous, and the defense did a good job getting him down there. But you got to do a great job game tackling because this is a guy that can break tackles and turn those types of plays into home runs.
They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. He is tackled, but it'll be a fresh set of downs.
That's a really nice run right there. And one of the things I love about him, he runs with such physicality and with the toughness. Do you think Woody Hayes, the great Ohio State coach, would have loved to have this guy in his backfield? His running style just marries so well with that. When you think about Ohio State and their tradition at running back, right? With all the athletes they've had throughout the decades, this guy was meant to play in the shoe.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Got him looking run. He wants to throw. Got it in the middle. It's Smith. At midfield, he's got room. They've got the defense reeling right now with that big play to the 29.
Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
Able to pick up a couple down to the 27.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Wide receiver shows motion. Touch pass on the run. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
I like offenses being creative. I'm not sure if that was the best place to call that play. I think this offense needs to think about just doing things a little bit more by the book. They've got a lot of good playmakers. You don't have to reinvent the wheel this early in the game.
He's got it. And he'll go out of bounds just short of the goal line, and they've got it right on the doorstep.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
And the Buckeyes will try to put one on the board on 1st and goal. They'll try to blast their way in. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. Now on 2nd and goal. Tries again to get it in. Just hammer it with this running back again, and he noses his way into the end zone. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
And he made the extra point without problem. And we're all square as he's set to kick it away. The returner will field it and bring it back. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. The give is to Miller. Ran to that daylight to pick up 6 to the 22. We'll take a quick break here. 2 minutes to play in the first half.
You want to talk about making it easy for an offensive coordinator. You pick up a bunch of yards on 1st down, make that 2nd down really, really manageable. That's a great job by the offense.
Got 6 on 1st down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. They go right back to him. And they'll wrestle him to the ground after a short gain. Got to get to the line quickly for this 3rd down play. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. Just nowhere to go against this defense to find that single yard he needed on 3rd down. The corners are walked up tight. On 4th down, flexing that muscle in the run game. Turns it on at midfield. And he was loose and not stopped until he gets to the 47-yard line.
You know, college football is so much about emotion and momentum and trying to find parts of games where you can grab it. How about going for it on 4th down on your own end of the field early like that and coming away with the first? That's huge.
They finally make the stop, but the big run is plenty to move those sticks for the 1st down.
Every offense wants to be able to run the ball and be physical, especially on 1st down. And you want to create 2nd and short, 3rd and short, or just get 1st downs like that run right there.
The Tide with the 1st and 10. Looking to move it through the air. Getting some heat. Got out of trouble, got rid of it. Oh, it's on the ground. Live ball. Defense coming up with a huge fumble recovery.
Man, that's a big mistake. And listen, I'm still going to force. Because if I'm that quarterback, I'm that OC, I'm walking over to that guy and be like, listen, it's okay. It's a little bit of a mistake. We're still going to find ways to get you the rock. You're too important to this team not to give you the football.
He spun that wheel of fortune by challenging the call, and it does not go his way, and he loses the timeout. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. How big is this drive? Scored a touchdown the last time they had it. Defense gets a stop. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. The first down sack pushes the ball back for this long second down. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. Looking for a man, it's Howard. Throws to the wideout. And that pass will be jarred loose on second down. That brings up third down.
What a hit by the defender. That's a good throw, and that was going to be caught, but how about the defender dislodging the football from its intended target? Nice job.
On third and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. And it's incomplete despite some serious arm strength shown there.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win first and second down. You set up third and longs like that, you can show your exotic looks, you can get the pass rush going, everybody on the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force fourth downs.
On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. Unleashes one deep. Throw to the end zone, picked off. And the offense makes the tackle in frustration after the interception. Drive comes up empty, and it's a turnover.
It's so easy to be up here in the booth and say, you should have put more zip on that. Sometimes you got to use the lob wedge. That time, you probably should have used the drive.
Here comes that Alabama offense. Now you find out just how much of a gunslinger you are. Will you roll? He lets one fly deep. And that one falls incomplete. They tried to go over the top on first down. Second down coming up. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Wide out in motion. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Pressure coming. They get to him as he throws. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble.
Quarterbacks talk about it all the time. They love the clean pocket where they can step up, throw the football. That is not what they had. Nice job by the defense, beating the offensive line.
He's going for it all. It is incomplete, and now there are 4 seconds remaining.
Well, you wonder if the defense has started to figure it out finally here. In the first half, this guy has been absolutely lighting you up, and finally they get some bodies back there anticipating the QB to look his way to force an incompletion.
One more snap coming before halftime. On fourth down, they're taking to the air. Pass is incomplete, and half comes to a close on that play. And that'll do it. Here in the second quarter, halftime has arrived, and we head to the studio. They want to get the ball back right now, lining up for an onside kick to start the second half. They were ready for the onside kick and executed perfectly, and they secure the football. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out process. And now once you get in the second half, who's going to get aggressive, Palmer? Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're just going to do it better. But then there are others that tweak things a little bit on offense and on defense. We're going to find out here.
Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on third. Fires deep toward the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State. And that one will give them the lead.
And it's so underrated, the relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing in the field because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now on game day.
He'll start the return inside his 5. And the returner goes down. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. We'll see if that failed fourth down in their own end last time, David, sort of curbed some of the aggressiveness.
Well, you hear about it all the time in football. Go for it. Be aggressive. The problem is when you get stopped, sometimes it puts you in a hole. And Jesse, now the offense has to come out and respond.
They were real disappointed not getting that first down. You can see it on the sideline. So let's just see if that's kind of galvanized them a little bit here to go make a statement and get some points.
Gets it out to the 20 after a pickup of 4. Alabama quickly back to the line. He'll have the first down as he gets it to the 28-yard line before he stopped.
And listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, I love teams that commit to the run, and when it's successful, keep running the rock.
Yeah, David, I think this offensive line right now, they've got a lather going. They're really sort of getting in the groove and flow of this game. They're just getting tremendous push at the point of attack. It seems like every single time they decide to run the ball.
He's looking on the right side. And he makes the catch inside the 25. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's first and goal from the 8. So close to cashing it in for this offense.
White 18, Rocky switch. White 18, Rocky switch.
A first down run in the red zone. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches. We'll see if the offense can punch it in on second and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. If you're able to move the ball in a drive like that, the most overrated stat in football would be field position.
Agreed, and I think confidence is big right now after that last drive. To be able to flip the field like that, not just do it, but go down and score a touchdown. Running and throwing. For this offense now moving forward in this game, that last drive is going to pay big dividends.
Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make, because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
Quarterback now on the run, still looking. He'll pull it down. He was able to squirt free and pick up just a few on that one.
Well, great job there by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw the coverage in the back end. Nowhere for the quarterback to throw the football. Didn't get the sack, obviously. You don't get the negative play, but you also don't give up a big one. You're feeling pretty good about where you are right now in this drive.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on third down. To the air, it's Howard. Shoots it to the left. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down.
That's one thing this defense takes a lot of pride on. They like tackling the catch, and they like being around the ball. That time, he was in proximity to knock that thing loose. Nice physical play.
And the ball will come to rest just inside the 40-yard line. Here comes that Alabama offense. This could be a real turning point in the game. They scored a touchdown. They got to stop. And now a chance to break the tie.
Yeah, this offense has got it cooking, man. And how about the defense? Great job getting that stop, getting the football right back to the hot hand. Now this offense probably has a chance to take the lead.
You can see the offense, too. They understand the situation right now. They were jonesing on the sidelines to get another opportunity to run back on the field. They are ready to drive this ball and go score.
Makes the stop at the 23-yard line, but it's a pickup of 15. A first down, and this offense is smelling the end zone. They make the stop at the 19 after a pickup of 5. Alabama pushing the tempo. Now they're going to throw it. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there. Here on third down, you might want to protect the field goal, but you have to stay aggressive. A little pre-snap eye candy for the defense. Fires into the end zone. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6.
Third and short in college football today, you see so much more pass than you used to. The offense stays aggressive, and I think they stay aggressive because they know they're in field goal range. They got that 3 in their back pocket.
1 for 2 on fourth down attempts so far, and we will get a third attempt here. Unloads to the wideout. He got it. Well, they just drained all the suspense out of the fourth down conversion, moving the chains easily.
Well, to heck with being conservative, right? I mean, that essentially would have just been a chip-shot field goal with where they were on that fourth down. But they decide to go for it, throw it. They're looking for 6. They're going for a touchdown. They are being aggressive.
White 53. White 53. Check. Blue 22 strong.
Quickly complete. And he will score! Touchdown, Bama! That's his 3rd touchdown pass of the day. The defense has no clue how to respond right now.
No, and the defense has had absolutely no answer. He's been on the money. He's been on fire, making the right decisions and just carving this defense up.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm, got off the field really, really quickly. They need to put something together here.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive, so they got to take a collective breath and start playing like a unit on this one.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. The back goes in motion. Back to throw, it's Howard. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and fourth down's coming.
QBs and receivers on third down, everything has to happen just a split second sooner. You're expecting pressure, the quarterback gets hit, just not on the same page with his target.
On fourth down, looking for the completion. And the incomplete pass lets this defense get the ball back for its own great field position.
And that is a big big-time drop right there. Fourth down, opportunity to catch it, maybe get the first down. That is tough to swallow, but as a QB, I got to walk over to him and say, listen, dude, we're going to need you later on. I still believe it.
Tackle is made after a pickup of 6 down to the 19-yard line. And now on second down for this offense. He's looking to throw. Pocket starts to collapse. And the heat was all over him, and that's the way the third quarter will wrap up with a big sack.
28, Ohio State, 21.
Let's go.
Now facing a third down as they come back to the line after the break. He's looking to pass. And it's incomplete on third down. They'll keep the offense on the field on fourth down already with a one-possession lead. Fires to the wideout. Makes the catch. Turns out to be an easy conversion for this offense as they move the chains on fourth down. And this defense has to step forward. Not only do they have to get a stop, they've got to do it quickly to keep that time from running. And he sprints to the end zone. Touchdown time.
It's just so nice to have a signal caller who can make plays through the air and make plays with his feet like this. Runs in for the touchdown. The defense knows I have to account for him.
It's a fake, and the holder showing off that arm. And there was nowhere to go for this quarterback, and down he goes. They have the lead in a two-possession game, and oddly lining up for an onside kick. He's able to grab the football, and the hands team gets the job done. He's knocked down in the backfield, a swarming defense, and he'll lose 7. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. There have been a couple of missed opportunities for these offenses in the last couple of drives, Jesse.
And I think for this offense here, it'd be nice to hit an explosive play, be aggressive, and really pay off your defense's effort that last drive.
Instead of having to move the ball down the field consistently and then getting stopped on fourth downs, you're right. Create some of those explosives. Take those deep shots. Make those big plays.
He picks up 4. That'll leave them with 3rd and 6. Trying to pick up a first down. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. And they gave him no chance to get loose, and they force a 4th down. Down in the 4th quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Incomplete on 4th down, and man, did they need to keep that drive alive.
And you had to. I mean, the offense had to be aggressive. You're down multiple scores. You needed to make something happen right now. You had to be aggressive. I think you had to go for it on that 4th down. Now, obviously, the game's looking like it might get out of hand.
Trying to find his man on first down. He's looking deep. And he makes the catch inside the 20. Touchdown, Alabama! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
And this offense continuing to put up points. This game's out of reach. You know you're going to win, but still throwing the football, still finding that connection. I imagine there'll be some salty handshakes at the end of this game.
To the air, it's Milroe. Can't quite make the connection there. Might have led him a little too much. Not much reason to go for the onside kick at this point, except they want to run up the score. Not much drives more anxiety than waiting to see if the hands team can corral the onside kick, and they do.
Well, here in the 4th quarter, they were obviously expecting onside kick. They got their hands team on the field. They're able to jump on the ball and make sure they get possession.
The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. They're going to throw it to start the drive. He lofts one down the sideline. And they took a shot on that one, but couldn't make the connection. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game in the 4th quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in coverage.
Makes a connection. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Buckeyes!
this receiver is on fire. He's got all the skills that you look for in a big-time target, and that's already his second touchdown of the game.
And they tacked on the extra point. If they're going to pull off this big rally, they'll need to get this one back. They line up for the onside kick. And before they can kick it, the receiving team's going to call a timeout. They still have work to do, trailing by 2 possessions here in the fourth. They'll line up for the onside kick. Looks as if the hands team will be able to recover the ball. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. They'll run it to keep this clock grinding. They're just trying to flex the muscle. They get him down at the 34 after a pickup of 4. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments. The offense showing motion from the tight end, trying to get a read on the D. They'll go to the ground. Relying on that running game, and it works for about 3 yards to the 31. Ball at the 31, third and short coming. Defense trying to rise up. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down.
Well, they came into this game today knowing that this guy was going to have to leave his mark in this one, toting the rock, and he's done that. He's come up with some big plays, and he continues to do that here late at a juncture where they've got to continue running it if they're going to win.
He'll come out throwing on first down. Snagged in the end zone. Touchdown, Crimson Tide.
There's no mercy rule in college football, man. They've got a huge lead here in the fourth quarter. They are still chucking it, and they are still scoring.
Lining up for the P8. It's a fake. The kicker wants to throw it. Corralled and brought down by the defense. Only reason you can think of for the onside kick here is they want to stick it to him. They'd hope to get that thing bouncing around, but the hands team is able to corral it. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Motion by the back forces the defense to adjust. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Just a small return, but a big play as they have it now at the 45.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's past, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback, and DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats, get the INT. Nice job by this D.
Offense making its way onto the field to start the drive. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Unloads to the wideout. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
I'm a little bit surprised they're still throwing the football here this late in the game with this kind of lead. They're on first down, taking a shot, falls incomplete, but obviously they're still seeing matchups that they want to take advantage of in the back end of this defense, so they're letting it fly.
Fast motion from the offense. Quick pass on the jet motion. Nothing but green ahead. And how much running room have they been able to find just all day? They are piling up unbelievable rushing stats.
This defense really needs to be careful, and they have to play with great eye discipline, understanding where the football is at all times. Moving forward, they have got to know if this guy has the ball, because he is dangerous in space.
Alabama quickly back to the line. Back to pass, it's Milroe. Touchdown, Bama! And the stomping has commenced.
It's another good decision by the quarterback. You've got to be impressed here. On that one, he finds his tight end, but all game long, whether it's receivers or running backs or tight ends, wherever the best one-on-one matchup has been, he's been able to take advantage of it, and that's why they've been able to score so many points.
And now they'll try to get the two-point conversion, guys.
Let's go.
It's complete to the left. He's into the end zone for the 2 and extends the lead. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And the capper, a 19-yard toss for the touchdown. After scoring that touchdown, they'll try to get it right back with an onside kick. Cool as a cucumber as the hands team makes a sure catch. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Well, let's see if this drive goes better than the last one. They were in and out quickly after the quick pick, David.
Yeah, first play, big mistake, man. Now, let's get this offense in a little bit of a rhythm. Maybe before you open it up again, Palmer, or do you trust him right away?
He seems to me like the guy maybe that just needs to kind of get into the flow of the game. So maybe you get the running game going here and just give him some easy looks to let him get lathered up.
He wants to throw. And the defense gets home. Yippee-ki-yay at 35.
And this defense came to play. They know about the high-profile QB. They rose to the challenge and dominated the competition today. They took care of business, and they made no doubt about who's the better football team.
And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are, you're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't feel very confident right now. If you're the play caller, certainly.
Going for it all. And swatted down by the defense to stop the scoring opportunity.
Well, this guy must feel like he's running to a buzzsaw in this game. He has been under duress all game long, and that's a big reason why he's thrown multiple interceptions in the game, too. Nothing coming easy to him. It's hard to see the field when your internal clock is going off so fast because of the...
A shot for the end zone. And he throws his 3rd pick of the day. His head has to be spinning.
And that's a really good job by the defense, understanding the situation of football. It's 4th down. It's late in the game. You got a multi-possession lead. Take away all the deep stuff. Make them force the football into coverage. They do, and they stamp this game.
First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. He's going to pass. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. After the quarterback and receiver failed to hook up, they'll try it again on 2nd down. Looking to throw, it's Milroe. It's caught downfield. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49.
You know, I love offensive coordinators that want to stay aggressive. They've come up with big plays all game long. It's a big reason why they have this lead right now, and they're not backing off here in the 4th quarter. They're letting their guys go play. The entire playbook is open to them, and they're taking shots.
That, friends, is a busted play. Incomplete. Alabama pushing the tempo. They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Looking for the end zone. The receiver was doubled, and they picked it off. And he's brought down after the pick, but not before putting his offense in business.
Obviously, this game hasn't gone the way they would have liked, but coaches are always looking for positive moments and things that you can build on. How about that young man going out, getting an interception? Yeah, they're being blown out. They're probably not going to win this football game, but that is the type of play that as a coaching staff you can build on for next week's game.
Caught over the middle. It's Ibuka. And the tackle is made, but not before. That completion gets them 30-plus. One big play, and you go from a little backed up to threatening. It's 1st and 10 from the 40. He's looking to throw it. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. And it's a touchdown. It is also a play in which there is a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. Getting set for the point after. Splits the uprights. You want to see quick strike ability? It was epitomized there. 2 plays, 80 yards, touchdown on the board.
Ohio State, 35.
After that last score, the lead still at 19. Pretty big deficit as they are set to kick off. A quick timeout called by the kicking team here.
Timeout, Ohio State.
At this point, a comeback would take one of the biggest miracles in the history of the sport, but they'll line up for the onside kick. They got it, able to recover the onside kick, and they get the offense right back out there. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. The deficit is large, hope is fainting, but they'll try to finish strong.
They made a lot of mistakes in this game, and that's why it looks like they're going to take the L. Lots of things to improve on, lots of things to coach upon, and at this point, I think if you're a head coach, David, you're just trying to see which of your guys aren't quitting late in the game.
Yeah, which is a real thing, by the way. Who's going to compete to the final whistle? What do we talk about all the time? Coaches are always preaching to these guys. Don't worry about the scoreboard. Just compete as hard as you can. So, good opportunity to try to finish this game with something positive.
Looking to throw, it's Howard. He's taking a deep shot. Couldn't hang on to that one. This defense has already picked off 3 passes, almost had the 4th. It'll be second down.
Well, trailing this much in the 4th quarter, the offense is looking for an explosive play to try to ignite them and get them back in this one, but nothing doing. Nice job in coverage.
They'll try again on second down after the incompletion. Off the play fake. A deep throw as the clock winds down. And it's picked off for the 4th time today. Going the other way, and he's got room. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
The number 1 objective for a defense is to make the offense one-dimensional. Well, when they're trailing by this much, late in the game, they're one-dimensional. They have to pass the football. We can bring more speed on the field. You see it. We know you're throwing the football. Nice break on the football. Nice interception. This one's almost over.
Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have 1 remaining in the half. Looking for a productive play on first down. DBs will try to keep everything in front. I don't think that's the way they drew it up. Incomplete. Let's see if they go back to the air on 2nd and 10 from the 28. They'll throw again after the incompletion. Grabbed behind the line. It's Williams. They get him down after he makes the catch. Alabama quickly back to the line. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. He couldn't find anywhere to go, and now it's 4th down. Timeout is called by the defense. 19 ticks remaining.
And how about that? You don't see those, touch passes go for negative yards very often. Usually this is a short flip that counts as a completion that goes a long way, but the defense aggressive. Saw it, pulled the trigger, came outside, made sure he didn't get outside and get to that edge. Nice job by...
Fires into traffic, intercepted. He'll try to take it back. A really good return after the interception puts them in business at the 29.
Hey, I love coaching staffs that want to stay aggressive, and here's a team that's up in the fourth quarter, and the coach is still letting his guy throw the football around, but you got to make better decisions. I mean, at this point, you're risking your team's ability to win this football game. You got to be more conservative.
Setting up the screen. He makes the stop, but a nice pickup there on first down. Leads them in second and manageable. This one was a lot like a tennis match, back and forth, up and down, and they just couldn't quite score enough and get the key stop to get the win.
And defenses have changed, right? It's not about limiting to low points anymore, but you got to find ways to create turnovers and get that ball back